This video is brought to you by RFK brand brainworms. Make your dome a home with the only parasite that's wriggled its way from America's brains to America's heart. They say you only use 10% of your brain, so let us eat the rest. RFK brand brainworms. Taste the burnt toast.
Impact.
What's up, nerds? So I've reviewed a few products on this channel, and a few times developers have actually reached out to me to do so. These guys didn't. I'm doing this one on my own. I've had Mirrorscape on my wish list for quite a while, as it looked like a really cool idea from the jump. It's a 3D virtual tabletop like many others with a free-to-play version for players. They've incorporated this idea about augmented reality capabilities so you can actually use this at a live session at your table. Now, while that feels a little gimmicky, it's still a cool idea and one that I was excited to give a shot. Most of my videos on this channel are dedicated to Tailspire, made by a small independent company called Bouncy Rock. I don't know those guys, they don't pay me, I just like the program. I think that they've done a good job. And there are programs that I've reviewed that I really like for one reason or another. RPG Stories and Dungeon 3D both have their own unique charms, and the Germans who made Dungeon Full Dive did a fantastic job integrating the idea of a 3D virtual tabletop and VR where you can do both and actually see the game in first person. Something doesn't have to make me want to switch to it over Tailspire for me to feel comfortable recommending it, as long as I can understand where they're coming from, and if I think the project is good. If I think that people who are into that would like it, then absolutely, thumbs up. Competition is good, and while we've all got our favorites, the idea of something new and shiny showing up and potentially bumping a company like Bouncy Rock and Tailspire off of their podium is something that both serves to entice consumers but also keep developers on their toes. So enter Mirrorscape, a 3D virtual tabletop, free-to-play player version, AR integration for in-person games. Let's go. Okay, so the first thing the program did is asked me to create an account with them. This is on its face like kind of a red flag for me. That's just me personally. I don't want to receive emails. I don't want to give out my contact info. I don't want to have, yet another account somewhere in a world where we already have so many accounts. But the second thing that popped up was this thank you that tells me that, hey, you're going to get a temporary free trial including all of the assets, and here's when that ends. That's cool. But this sentence, this one right here, that one kind of got my guts in a kink. Buy them anytime with AR coins. Like, what the fuck is an AR coin? So I closed that window and a tutorial window popped up with like all their advice on building, placing minis and stuff. Normally, I just skip them and ham-fist my way through things. But they have a tip on there for buying AR coin, and so that at this point that's all I care about. Like, what is this thing? Is it crypto? Is it some kind of NFT bullshit? But it's neither of those. But it is an in-game currency. This has become an industry standard for a lot of companies, especially for mobile games, and it is an immediate non-starter for me. Like, not one that I'm willing to support. These kinds of in-game currencies are fundamentally predatory. They use sunk cost fallacy to squeeze people for cash, and they put these sort of nickel and dime paywalls in front of pieces of content. Sunk cost fallacy is when you feel like committed to continue paying for something or to continue investing time in something because of previous investments, rather than whether the payoff would be good. It's why gamblers keep gambling, because they think okay, well, maybe it's coming and I've already spent so much. And in the game thing, it's okay, well, I already have 200 of these fucking coin shit. How much more money do I need to spend for this? And it's just this illusion of a free-to-play game that ends up being infinitely more expensive for the game than what it would have been with a box price by another company, or by a box price by the standards of yesteryear. This form of monetization behind the illusion of something being free to play is old to the point of being played out. I know probably everybody hates it. I really hate it. And I was excited when I started recording, and I was going to do a little live let's play kind of thing, but I'm not going to continue. So is Mirrorscape good? I don't know. But I'm going to advise people not to purchase it or even try it just based on this alone. We don't need another Fantasy Grounds like a $2,000 VTT, and this in-game currency model is not one that I would like to see get shoved into the world of virtual tabletops. It's something that I already anticipate seeing in the Wizards of the Coast, like the official D&D VTT, and if I'm proven right in that prediction, I will say the same thing when that comes out. This shit is unethical. It is old school carny behavior, and the fact that it's unethical does not change just because it's become an industry standard, being pushed by some of the least scrupulous shitheads in the world. It sucks because, like, if you've watched my videos, any of my videos, you probably have realized that I don't do negativity. Even my reviews of other programs, if there's something I didn't like or something that was missing, I frame it as a wish list. Wish list item for this. My wish list, because, you know, people work really hard on this stuff and I don't want to, you know, knock them down, especially if I can see like the passion behind it and all that. I don't know anything about the company that made this. And I know that there are probably artists and game developers that worked really hard on this, who were not involved in the decision to put a currency in there and lock a bunch of stuff behind microtransactions. And that sucks, you know? That's a bummer. I don't want to knock them, but I am a dedicated and passionate member of the Bill Hicks school of thought on people who work in marketing, and I can't, in good conscience, sugarcoat my feelings on this. The usual positive, I can see the cool side of this, and Ket, you know, needs to take a seat for a minute, and I will state plainly, please do not support projects like this. If you're looking for a VTT that isn't Tailspire, RPG Stories just released a new DLC pack that is reasonably priced, and they are pretty cool people. That's a really cool program, and I'll put a link to it in my description. Bouncy Rock is addressing the issues with their no free player version with a paid seats concept that I actually think is a good idea. Like, I understand you have to fund these projects moving forward if you want to keep releasing content and paying people their salaries, but like everybody knows from countless examples, Bouncy Rock as one of them, that this can be done in an ethical manner with a box price, where people know what they're going to be paying when they get into it, without obscure hidden currency conversions to see how many coins they need to get before they can unlock all of these things and what that's going to look like in order to get everything, right? You know, it's like having a bowl of cereal versus paying for each individual piece of cereal in a bowl. Anyway, I'm bummed. I'm sorry. The book that I was going to release in December of 2023 is still being worked on in May of 2024. However, it's been long enough and I have saved up some dollary dues, and I'm actually hiring a few artists to do the illustrations. It is an exciting time. It's coming, and thank you for all the support thus far. I've got my Discord in the description. I love you. Goodbye.